Hey guys, Elite Legionario here, and today I've got quite a long 2 vs 2 siege for Medieval 2 Total War. There's probably some parts where you might want to skip, guys. It does take quite a while, and I hope I can commentate well for this length of time. I mean, it's not ridiculously long, but it will be quite long. But as you can see, I am in command of the Holy Roman Empire. I am teamed up with Lavernicus again, who is another Christian man like me, and we get on well and play online quite a bit on Medieval. He's in command of his favourite, Spain of course, and we will be up against Infinplusin, who is the Moors, and in further is Jamesdergrosse, who is England. So immediately I'm going to use my 2 cannons to breach some locations in the wall here, and the Moor player, Ifin I'm just going to call him, is going to send out about, I think it's 4 units of these camel gunners. These units are incredibly good, very destructive and dangerous units. They are when he had these, I really wish I had had some Raiters, which are another Holy Roman Empire unit, which are the equivalent except they ride on horses, not camels, but they do the same thing. They have a gun, and you know, like the same thing. So so he's going to come out and harass Lavernicus. Actually guys, I might just whoops, wrong one. Just turn down the speech just a little bit because he's just kind of interrupting. So yeah, he's going to come out and harass Lavernicus. So we're getting through the walls pretty quickly. Anyway, my army consists of 5 units of bronze, as many upgrades as I could possibly get. Actually, I maxed them out on 5 units of dismounted Imperial Knights.
We have breached our enemy's walls.
So yeah, 5 units of dismounted Imperial Knights, 4 units of dismounted Feudal Knights, 2 Teutonic Knights, 2 Peasants, and 4 Puppies Crossbowmen. And I was moving my crossbowmen and my knights over there to assist against Lavernicus against these camel riders. And as you can see, look how much damage they've done to these units of chivalric knights, which are a very good heavy knight unit. This shot them to pieces before they could do anything. Lav's gone with this pretty standard, I think it's about 3 or 4 conquistadors dismounted and chivalric knights dismounted. He's also got a unit of feudal knights because he couldn't quite manage it all. He's gone with a good lineup of Puppies Crossbowmen this time. He's got 4 of those instead of his musketeers. Got a general's bodyguard, and of course got lots of towers, but that's probably just to distract his enemies. He's got a couple of basilisks, very good units, best cannon unit in the game, and a catapult, which comes in very handy later on. But bear with me guys, this battle is quite long, although when we were playing it was all smidgen laggy, so it probably isn't going to be as long as I think it is. It wasn't like real bad, but because my computer can handle it straight and normal in the replay, it won't lag at all, so it's good. So when I do sieges, I always use junky peasants and stuff to tow the towers, the ladders, the rams, the saps in Rome Total War and stuff. That's what I do, because they'll usually take a lot of casualties and I don't want my good units having to do that, so that's why. So yeah, I might outline the Moorish force. Obviously those 4 camel gunners, which have been very destructive to Lav's army. I'm sending my Teutonic Knights to assist him because he did lose a good number of his knights trying to deal with them. So we didn't get the greatest start, but you don't know, that doesn't always happen. So anyway, the rest of the Moorish army consists of Christian Guard. He's got desert archers, he's got 1, 2, and this guy was very smart. You see, he's deployed his archers right as close to the tower as possible, so he can stay on the wall, but when we shoot him we actually can't knock him off the tower, off the wall. So that's very intelligent and smart use. He was very good, and we could tell he was. As you can see, he's stuck right close to the towers where we can't actually knock his men off the walls with cannon fire. So look, he's got 3 desert archers. He's got 1, 2, and 2 Lamtuna spearmen, 2 dismounted Christian Guard, And I think he's got like 4 or 5 maybe hidden Hashashim. He's got a couple here that we can see, but there are more hidden ones. He's also got a couple of trebuchet, and yeah, and an English player, and a very smart mover, I think, although at the same time it was a sort of a riskier sort of move to make. Was at the same time it was a good move. He put these stakes with his retinue longbowmen in the centre of the town. This means we can't just charge a cav into the centre and cause mass damage, so that was very intelligent. That makes approaching the town centre quite difficult, and it means he's got a good defensive position for his retinue longbowmen. So anyway, before I'm using my Teutonic Knights to run down these camel riders, which are now a bit more tired, plus camels don't move as fast as horses, and he's getting himself trapped between the border. So I'm going to be able to catch them, and that's fantastic, because these guys need to die. They caused a heap of damage to Lavernicus, and I had to go and help him. But he's helped me in battles before, so it's just how it works. We work together well, me and him do. So anyway, back to the English forces. He's got a large number of dismounted English knights. Dismounted English knights. They're the two-handed units. That's an interesting choice. I wouldn't bring this many. He's got several armoured swordsmen. That's a good choice. Also, there's a Moorish bodyguard out here. It's the general. And he's, of course, the English general there. He's got 3 retinue longbow behind the stakes in a very good defensive formation. He's got quite a lot of billmen as well, which is another interesting choice. I think if he uses his swordsmen to pin the front, to pin our infantry and then charge in with his billmen and English knights, we could really find ourselves in some bother. But without a doubt, Lavernicus is extremely well equipped in the infantry department. These conquistadors are the best infantry in the game. Which is why I think he likes to use Spain. They're such powerful infantry and they're so good. So what we're doing is attacking every tower. As you can see on my side, I've destroyed every tower. This is simple because when you approach, those towers will shoot at you with ballistas and things, and they can wither down to 10 to 15 minutes, 15 men out of each unit before you even get into the city. So you need to get rid of these in a siege. It's given an any siege because they can be extremely destructive. So he's bringing his trebuchet forward to fire, and basically we just keep we don't assault until we're absolutely out of ammo on all our cannons, because we want to do as much damage to the towers and walls.
Our men have breached the enemy's gates.
So when I hit the gates, then I destroyed one of those trebuchet, and that was great. That was really good. So I've managed to catch out all the remainder of his camel riders. So after they inflict a huge toll, in the siege I didn't use the standard 6-2 medieval rule, which is 6 cav and only 2 can be missile cav. If I had done that, that might have made this a bit easier for us, but nah, it's cost us a lot of men, particularly for Lavernicus. But I've lost a few cav as well, and I did lose a few men over here. As you can see, I lost a few troops to them as they came out. So I'm going to withdraw back because I don't want any of his trebuchet shots hitting me. I'm alright with that though, because I know my cannons have much greater range. So that is going to create some more openings in the wall over here, and this wall here. Basically I just want to get as many openings so we can get the troops in as fast as possible. We don't want them all clumped at one entry point, because that would be a disaster. That's just waiting to happen. You wouldn't be able to employ all the troops, and it's just not a good idea. So I'll get you a close-up of these cannons firing. As you can see, sweet graphics on this game. I reckon they are anyway. And the Holy Roman Empire, I love this faction. It's really good. So here you go, they fire. And the thing with cannons too is they're really accurate. At the moment we're actually targeting the trebuchet. I want to try and get it out of the way because it could be a nuisance. A stray hit from a trebuchet could really actually do some damage. So I have my my Teutonic Knights out over here to assist Lavernicus, because he's not no cavalry defence. Although cavalry is a pretty small part in most sieges. I wouldn't, in Rome Total War, I wouldn't even really bother with cavalry at all in most cases, but in medieval you do need it, because if the enemy has some cavalry and you have none, they could come out and they could do a really good charge on your heavy infantry and you'd have no defence against it. So in medieval you need probably at least two. I wouldn't have too many though, because once you're in the city they're of lesser use, but they can be useful, but overall just have a couple to make sure that doesn't happen. So Lavernicus will continue to assault, and again, as you can see, intelligent placement of these dismounted Christian guard.
These walls into the breach and onto glory and triumph.
As you can see, even if he hits the wall here, they're not going to be able to actually knock them off. So it's very, very intelligent placement right next to the towers where they can't actually be defeated. So that's what you should do if you're in a defensive position, if you want to maintain the wall control, because if you want to really stay on the walls, because they are extremely important and useful. So this battle was quite long, because it doesn't, sometimes on Medieval 2 the connection's not that strong. It doesn't, it's not poor or anything, but it doesn't run quite as fast. But in the replay there's none of those problems. This will probably be faster than it actually was when we were playing it. Nonetheless, it was an extremely fun siege. So yeah, we'll just continue bombarding away, making more openings. We want to open here and here, I believe, so we can get troops in there. We do, I think when we agree, well, Lavernicus decides when I attack that he's going to come out here as well, and we're going to sort of focus on the front area of the castle. As you can see, these trebuchets are firing away. But those camel gunners really did a number on Lavernicus. I mean, look at all those dead knights, dead dismounted knights, dead Pavi's crossbowmen, all his dead cav. I lost a few trying to catch them as well. Note a few dead men over there. I suspect in the statistics, the Moorish players, camel riders, really would have had a lot of kills. So yeah. When I decided to use the Moors later on in another battle, I thought, well, I better have two of those, because I thought they were really good. I knew they were good, but I didn't think they were that good. So I will have some. So as you can see, there's some retinue longbowmen here, good amount of heavy billmen, and of course more retinues out here. Yeah, so this defence is really good. It is wise, especially to keep enemy cavalry out. I mean, we can't just charge these retinue longbowmen. There's no other way to get round behind them, so they're going to be devastatingly hard to get rid of, and they're going to do a lot of damage. So continue to fire away, guys. Feel free to skip ahead, because we're just making breaches in the walls. And this is why I was the host and I only allowed 2 artillery pieces each, because in all honesty, cannons are just awesome in this game. They're fantastic. Taking on a siege is just awesome. The only one that I used against infantry would be mortars.
Charge through the breach. Crush our enemy.
So there's another entrance point. And in a moment, I've abandoned the tower approach. We're not going to need the towers. There's plenty entry points now. The towers are not necessary. Don't need them anymore. But they were just there just in case. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use my peasants in a moment. I'll take them off the towers, put them in loose formation, and put them up the front. And once the cannons are out of ammo, I'll take the crew off that and put them in loose formation, and I'll advance them up, and I'll advance my crossbowmen up, and hopefully they'll absorb some of the damage, and I'll be able to have an extended missile duel without taking too many casualties. So yeah, these basilisks, I could have got them. They're the best cannons in the game, these ones here, but they're too expensive in my opinion. I wanted to spend more money on other things, so that's why I didn't bring them. I have quite a heavy number of infantry, although not as strong as probably not as strong as Lavernicus's infantry, definitely not the conquistadors. The dismounted shibboleth knights, probably my dismounted imperial knights probably equal. The thing I like about dismounted imperial knights is they have a mace, which is armor piercing, and the dismounted feudal knights behind them, normally they only have chainmail, but in the later periods, if you have a later unit troops in your army, they also have plate armor, which is interesting. They have the sword. and they're all around good infantry, heavy infantry units, but everyone can have them. Every Christian or Catholic power. So again, you know, guys, if you want to skip some bits out, just go for it, because I know it's quite a long siege, although, you know, hopefully you don't miss the good bits though. So again, we're just making plenty of infantry points. As you can see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I won't use the gate, but I opened it anyway. 6, 7 places for our troops to get in, so that's the point. You don't want to just blow one hole or the gate. You never do that, because it's just bad. You want multiple entry points so you can get in nice and fast. The reason I'm not going to use the gate is they'll likely pour oil down on my troops and they'll get really damaged and they'll rout. So I've got a tiny little bit of ammunition left. So I'm just shooting away, trying to hit this unit here, or anything really, with exploding ammunition with my cannons, but yeah, but I don't think I'll hit anything, but it's just a tiny little bit left and there's no more walls parts to break in. And Lavernicus had a little bit more than me, so he's going to continue his firing for quite a while. Well, not quite a while, but for a wee bit longer. And we were just aiming to hit things like here. I don't know, I think it was him. I might have hit them, I'm not sure. I think it's him. He hit this good wallop of armoured swordsmen, which is really useful. So what our plan is when we get in, obviously we want to quickly get in, use our win the infantry battle, and I'm confident we'll beat the Moorish player. We were definitely certain he had Hashashim hidden. I reckon they were around here. They reckon they were around the town centre, but I would have thought around here would have been a better place to put them, because the English can easily defend the town centre. But over here it's pretty thin on infantry. There's only 2 Hashashim in this area, and I thought, nah, he's got to have more than this. And he does. So what we want to do is quickly beat them, and then quickly get our own missile units onto the walls, so that we can then spread them out over the walls and shoot them from the walls, which is useful. So Lavernicus decides he's going to attack from this sort of angle over here, using this gate and this one here, so that he's close to me when I go out the front. As you can see, like I said before, I took my peasants off the towers and into loose formation, and I'm going to bring them up. I'm also going to bring my crossbowmen up. I want to start the missile duel. I don't expect to do much damage to his missiles, but I want to just basically absorb their attention, so when I move my infantry up they won't be getting shot by arrows. The shields on the back of these Pubby's crossbowmen will certainly allow them to stay in this fight for a long time. This is where they are very good. And hopefully when I approach them, some of these peasants and cannon crews will take most of the heat. Well, again, it still helps. The cannon crews are useless now. They're all out of ammunition. Even though it looks like there's ammunition left, they are out. So Lavernicus will fire. I'm just getting ready. He's just going to continue firing until he's out. We agreed. And as you can see, it's pretty even so far. 15% of us dead, 13% of them. It was pretty bad at the start when all this stuff of Lavernicus got killed by those camel gunners. Once we killed all of them, and we killed some of his trebuchet and some of these troops in the middle here, we evened it out a little bit more. So again, so obviously you need it in a siege. I think, you know, a lot of people don't have the patience for sieges in Medieval 2. They're quite slow, but you need to take your time, because they can be pretty hard. A lot of people just blow one area open, charge in, and it's just terrible. You need to take out all the towers, because otherwise they're just going to shoot you. And they can take out, as I said, up to 10 to 15 men per unit, and you're definitely going to lose the infantry battle. And once you lose an infantry battle, you lose all the way. So, you know, cavalry again are pretty limited, but you need a couple, because again, if I had none, that Moorish cavalry probably could have come out and done a couple of really devastating hits on my knights. And like I've showed you in other battles, a good heavy cavalry charge can just destroy dismounted heavy infantry, and I'd have no way to stop it with my own cavalry, see. So you need at least, probably 2's okay. Enough to like absorb the charge, and then you just send your infantry into support once the charge has been stopped. But I would bring heaps. probably no more than 4 if you're a real cavalry man, but I don't like a lot of cavalry in sieges. In Rome Total War, because infantry can handle cavalry much better than they can in Medieval 2, I don't even bother with them at all in Rome Total War. Maybe 1 or 2 if I want to spring a trap out of the city or something, but very rarely do I bring cavalry in Rome Total War sieges. I'm not sure if Lavernicus is out yet. I think this unit might be. I'm pretty sure that he's almost out of ammunition, and yeah, he is, because his men have drawn their little dagger. So we've used our ammunition well. I think we've blown all the towers away, so we don't have to worry about them shooting us. We've made plenty of entry points. Obviously in a campaign map, doing this would be a wee bit different because it would cause you to have to pay quite a bit to repair it, but obviously this isn't a campaign battle, so it's just to make sure you get in. This was just a standard castle. I think it was just a level 1 castle. It gets exceedingly tough when it's like citadels on level 3, when they actually have cannon towers firing back at your own cannons and they can range you in. It's quite hard. So anyway, at last I'm moving my army up, again with my peasants and my cannon crews in the front to absorb arrow fire until I get my own Pavi's crossbowmen into position. But he hasn't got a heap of archers, thankfully, because they could be quite devastating. So he's got, a couple of 2 or 3, I think he's got three desert archers, which isn't that bad. He's got several dismounted Christian guard up this end though, and there's a 4th archer up here. We were quite, I was quite insistent on no Nafatoons, because they can be really tough to deal with in a siege, not for the attacker, because they can just blow you to pieces with all their flaming pots. But it turns out that the Moors actually don't have Nafatoons. It's the Egyptians and the Turks that have Nafatoons. So as you can see, my peasants are taking much of the heat at the moment, literally, with flaming arrows coming down on them. As you can see, they're coming down them in big numbers, and some of them are getting burnt up. I'm going to charge here, rush, but he'll likely turn his attention onto he's turned his attention onto my Pavi's crossbowman. Like I said before, he was an intelligent player. He knew how to play the game. But I'm having my peasants up there anyway. In this case, in case he decides to charge in his cab, these junk units will take the charge for me, and they'll be quite alright. So as you can see, they are taking fire, and my men are now firing back, although with limited success. It's quite hard to do much damage. While this has been going on, Lavernicus has moved his army in, and he's brought his men real close so he can shoot straight into the openings, which is a good idea, but it also puts his men at really close range. By staying out here though, I just want to take his archers' attention.
Our men are under attack. We need to act.
So how come the Imperial Knights? I'm going to put 2 up here. I'm going to put half up here actually and half over here. I'm not going up the gate, like I said, because of the oil. I only just blew it open for the sake of firing and opening the gate just in case. And here come the Trebuchet crews, the suicidal death charge, and Lavernicus will kill them nicely. But we had very much control over the timing of our attacks, and we were very much in communication with one another about when and how we were going to do it. So that's not a concern. So as you can see, my Pavi's crossbow, my peasants and cannon units have taken all the missile fire. So I'm able to bring up my knights at a sedate walking pace, and they're not going to take any casualties to missile fire. And because the towers are destroyed, they're not going to get shot at by them. So they will get in there in full numbers, which is extremely important. So when we attack, we're going to attack simultaneously together. The English player won't abandon his defensive position, because if he does, if he comes out here, he'll have easy pickings for our cavalry units. So in a moment you will see Hashishim units appear. These Lavernicus spearmen, absolutely no match for any of our infantry. Over here he completely abandons this side, so this is bad for him. This is going to allow me to get quite a lot of my men in. So as you can see, I've formed up quite nicely. I'm going to get the majority of them over here because I see that I'm going to be able to get most of my men in over here with little difficulty, and because Lavernicus is attacking at this side, it'll work well. So he's going to charge in, and in he goes. Here they come, and in a moment I'm sure there will be Hashishim reveal themselves. Here's some Hashishim here. The dismounted Christian guard, and as this happens I'm also going to attack. And in they come. I was just getting them in, but here come some of his men, and the battle is on. The battle's on, gentlemen, ladies, if there's any watching. Here he charges in, and he's doing well. His conquistadors will be easily winning his fight because they are the best heavy infantry in the game. There's no doubt about that. Over here I'm having a wee bit more difficulty because my men are not quite as strong, although they're well upgraded, and once I get the numbers in I start to get better victory. Over here though I managed to come in with my other knights. I've also put a couple over here just to deter anyone coming this way, and I've also got a reserve unit ready to come in if I need more. So as you can see, my Imperial Knights are doing a good job against these dismounted Christian Knights. Over here, his Hashishima's Christian Guard rather are not winning the fight against me, and they're certainly not winning the fight against Lavernicus' Conquistadors. So enjoy the close range scrapping, guys. It is awesome to watch on Medieval 2, and as you can see they get bloody. Their armour and stuff gets blood on it. And look at that, there's a kill right there, I think. A bit shield bashing and just sword swinging going on, epic battles and everything going on right here. And I'm winning this fight, as is Lavernicus, so this is great. And we see, we immediately see it, there is a opening here, no one here, so we come in behind Hammer and Anvil here, and we can quickly free our men up much sooner. And I had some men over here just in case I need cavalry support. So the English player charges his billman and some of his swordsmen in, and this is starting to turn the battle against me on this side because it's got a lot more numbers in, but I have left reserve units to come in and offer support when it's needed. So that's good, but we are suffering a bit of missile fire from up here and down there, so we are having trouble there. But over here, comfortable wins against both of us here, really. And our knights are on the way. I alerted Lavernicus to this, and we're on our way to claim it as quickly as possible. So I bring in more men, and it starts to balance it out more. Some of his men are starting to get beaten, some of my men are winning again. So a pretty even fight here for the central gate area and the central alley of the city. And as you can see, so very epic fight going on here. This man's going up against two, but yeah, unfortunately died. Whoops, sorry, camera trouble. But very epic fight, but it's even, pretty much. It says it's fairly even between us. Over here, has just killed a couple of Moorish guys down, and here come our cavalry right into the backs of these Moorish troops. So we managed to rout and free up Lavernicus' side, which is great. And he's also, as you can see, brought in a couple of catapults, and we're going to deploy that here and bombard the town centre, which that's why I said earlier they'd come in handy later on, and they do come in extremely handy. So his billmen fought well, but that was only on the charge. Once they stopped charging, they start getting defeated. They're just not up to as much battle as the sword and shield or mace and shield troops. So I bring in my own junior for a charge here, but I make a mistake and let him stay in it, but it's kind of hard to pull him out in this situation because there's no real room. So we've freed up this area, and now what we're going to be doing is going up to some of our troops up to the walls so that we can send our missile units in to quickly and decisively claim some of those wall positions so we can fire into the centre of these groups here and things.
Our men are under attack. We need to act.
So as you can see, very bloody battle going on. And unfortunately my general died,
Perhaps our chances of victory with it.
which was a bit of a bother, but as you can see my men have taken the centre. Lav's just arrived, but just as he arrives I win it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But over here he attacked with a large number of troops, but even these 2 units of heavy billmen are no match for my 1 unit of dismounted Imperial Knights, which is beating them quite happily. But he does start to send some more in, and I do start to think
we need to act.
Two-handed units are just not quite as strong, but there is twice as many there, so it's a lot for my men to have to fight. So this guy just killed 2 in a row, it's pretty awesome. 3, so yeah, these guys are just punching through them because they're much better. They've got a wee bit more upgrading too. So very awesome fight going on there. In the centre though, we're quite happily going to win. We are getting shot at by these troops, but as you can see, Lavernicus has already sent his conquistadors up to deal with some of these desert archers, and I'm sending some of my knights up there as well to deal with these dudes here. So as you can see, very sort of hardly good shots of it, but
soldiers have captured their Schwein's walls.
So over here I am starting to get quite bashed down by these large numbers. Even though my men were doing well, I'm going to send in knights for a charge. They come in full steam ahead, and this should make a difference, and it does make a difference, and we're starting to beat them down again. Over here we went through a bit of an attack here, and we were doing quite well. But I think I stayed in this fight a little too long, and I started to lose too many men. Even though it says I was winning, I took my eyes off this fight too long, and it was costly to me. But very awesome fight that is. A lot of very awesome fights in this siege. So over here these billmen are steadily getting bashed down. Our centre is just nice and set up, and we're going to happily bombard away here. So over here, yeah, I was a wee bit overzealous, and I didn't pay enough attention. But here I'm going to charge some of these knights. I see them left out there, although they didn't do very well because for some reason they didn't draw their lance, which was kind of annoying. So while this is happening, as you can see, my men are getting quite depleted. Having to fight all the way out here by myself has been quite a costly business, and of course I made that little slight blunder of leaving them in this fight over here a wee bit too long, even though they did quite well. England has got a lot of infantry for us to fight. So over here we managed to defeat those billmen, but now comes these bodyguards, and they're going to do a lot of damage to us. I still got some infantry left, some good numbers. So we're moving our archers up to these walls. As you can see, Lavernicus has already got a few of his men up there, and I am just moving my guys in now, preparing to move them in. So I'm sitting here doing strikes with my cavalry units against his knights, and it is doing some damage. Steadily withering them away. Lavernicus gets snagged, makes sort of a similar mistake to me, gets snagged up in the fight here. Yeah, so this was probably the only blunder. We didn't really coincide our attack here. But I am helping him as much as I can with my knights and their charges. And they're going to do a bit of damage, but they'll be of limited use. There's a huge deal of English knights in there. But we do manage to finally beat down the remainder of the English billmen, but I don't want to go in that direction. And I'm going to put my Pubby's crossbowmen along this wall, and I want them to fire into the groups in here. I've also got more men up here with Lavernicus's men, and we are now using the wall height advantage to help us. Sort of can't really get good angles of that, guys. As you see, there's the bolts going in, and they're shooting these two-handed billmen who don't have any shield, so that isn't going to work. And his conquistadors are going to rush to meet in battle, and billmen are no match for conquistadors and chivalric knights, so they're going to get destroyed. So this unit up here will take quite a lot of our arrows. So now the basilisk crews of Lavernicus are coming into us the fight as well. So a very bloody fight for this side. The English appear to have been able to win, although not without heavy casualties. In a moment I'll even bring my peasants in to come into the fight. So these English men are getting pretty bashed down. They're actually getting hit by their own arrows, so that's not really helping them that much. As you can see, more of these English troops are getting taken out than these Spanish ones. While this is happening though, I'm firing from the walls with my Pubby's crossbowmen, and we're getting quite a lot of casualties into groups out over here and things. It really does come right down to the wire, this fight. It's always harder to siege though, go on the siege assault. And as you can see, Lavernicus is using his artillery. I'm really glad he reserved this, because this comes in very handy. As you can see, there's a good hit there. It takes out probably about 4 or 5, 6, 7 men in that. And we sort of get overzealous, so I'm going to pull out of this, but although I do start to rout a little bit. But as you can see, I'm bringing my peasants and stuff now to assist as well. And as you can see, these guys are aiming at his retinue longbowmen, which they now have in range. And arrow bolts coming, or crossbow bolts coming down on these guys, because these guys are quite dangerous. They've been inflicting quite a bit of damage, but we can't really reach them because of those stakes and the troops defending them. So the Moorish general charges in, and we're going to try and bring him down. And they're getting hit by, again, those arrows are not really being of that much use. So there's a very almost dangerous fire shot there from those Moorish, the Spanish catapults. A bit of a historical sort of matchup, particularly with Spain and Moors fighting each other. So over here, my peasants were actually winning this fight, stunningly. They're not now, but they were winning because their opponents were exhausted. But again, I don't really care about the peasants. I just want them to take the attention of these guys so we can be a little more focused in the central fight. So I'm going to bring back my dismounted Imperial Knights here. Again, these retinues are being quite a nuisance, but there's plenty of missile fire from our crossbowmen from also up here as well. And we are just slowly withering down our opposition. We've nearly defeated the Moorish player. We just haven't quite got rid of the except for this bodyguard unit. We have not quite beaten the English player yet, but we will. And there was a very good hit. As you can see, he's now aiming for the general's bodyguard, because we realised that a hard hit from one of these could potentially cause a mass rout from our tired troops. So if we get rid of them, we could do quite a bit of damage. So there's a good number of, probably about 6 retinues that just got killed then. And catapults will reduce morale. And I'm going to use some of my Pubby's crossmen that no longer have any ammo to assist in the battle. So there's a dead knight there. And we got him. So we killed the English general with a catapult blast, so that was great. And the battle's still on. We're doing nice damage, as you can see. His now bowmen are now down into the 30s instead of the 40s where they were before, so it is working quite well.
Our men are under attack. We need to act.
And we're just preparing for the final assault, basically. And I've got my men waiting here, my peasants, and some of my knights was waiting for the call for battle. And he's waiting too. But while this is happening, his troops are in range. I'm not sure if they're quite in range, but I'm preparing to put them in range. These guys are out of ammo, but I'm preparing to use them in the battle.
Our men are under attack. Must act now.
So it's nearly over, guys, but it's been quite a long siege. But it's just about to finish. So the English player decides to go for one last bash, and he goes straight for the central forces. So the moment he does this, I'm going to charge all my units here, straight into the back of him, and I'm going to prepare to charge my infantry. So we charge in. And that's these crazed Moorish warriors are going nuts. While this is happening, I come to flank them around here, and it causes a mass rout on the English player, and I'm bringing this unit in. He's also getting shot at by all my arrows, and we kill the Moorish general.
By our imperial troops.
So as you can see, the English player just admitted defeat.
This is well for the Empire. Stay strong, and the enemy will be defeated.
So we're on the charge, rushing for the town centre to claim it while his troops have given up.
Today we claim victory for the Empire.
And victory is Lavernicus and mine after a very long, hard-fought siege. This will probably be one of the toughest sieges I can recall doing, or longest. It was a very long siege, but a very rewarding one nonetheless. So it's only an average victory, but considering I find going on the attacks a lot harder, I was pretty pleased that we won. So I had 1,111 men. I lost 652. I got 459 left. I killed 831 and captured 168. So I got pretty much about 1,000 men beaten all up. Lavernicus had 981 men. He got 641 of his men died rather. He has 340 left. He got 756 kills and 100 captured, so he basically beat 856. Infinplusin had 951 men. He lost 947. He's got 4 men that survived. He got 791 kills and he had 21 captured, so he had a good number there. And Jamesdergrosse had 1,161 men deployed, the most out of anyone. He lost 1,008, had 153 left, and he got 531 and 96. So everyone did pretty good, really. I got the most here though. That was pretty cool, quite rewarding. As you can see, my Teutonic Knights, they actually did really well, particularly this unit got 85, but also this unit here got 30 on top of its 42, so it's 72. This unit got 12 on top of that 85, so it's nearly got 100, but they did get destroyed pretty much. When dismounted Imperial Knights, 39-19, they didn't do as great. This one got 49 for 44, so that evened out. 28-11, they didn't do as great, although it captured 10, so it's like 38. 28 to about 21, so it's not too bad. Imperial Knights, again, they lost 50 but killed 95. This one lost 52 and killed 102, so those two did good. This one took 40 rather for 57, so that was okay, I guess. Most of the Imperial Feudal Knights did better actually, 40, 47, 85. Yeah, so they did pretty good. The peasants, they were useful, they helped a lot. The cannons, they were very, very vital, were extremely useful in this fight. And the crossbowmen, 74, 36, they were good too. So everything came together nicely. We had good strategy, and we worked together well. Always good to work with Lavernicus because it's just easy to talk to them and get on with them good. And it came together nicely, and it was okay. Long siege, guys, but I hope it didn't bore you anywhere there. I know it was long, but I'm sure you'll skip parts that were boring. If you did, it's fine. But Many thanks to Lavernicus, Infinplusin and Jamesdergrosse for playing. Enjoyed it, guys. It was so much fun, and thank you everyone for watching, and I hope it brought you some enjoyment. And I'll see you next time.